Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a special Marvel movie talk. We are here to talk today about one of our favorite topics, Deadpool, but specifically Deadpool's affirmations. Feel yourself to heal yourself. This is by our friend Rob Kutner, who we've actually had on the show before, and we'll talk to him in a moment. But if I'm going to do a show, I will not be able to do said show without my right hand man, my right said Fred, Eric Conner, who is apparently reading an earlier book, which is what we talked to Rob about in the past. He collaborated with the great Scott Lang on Look Out for the Little Guy. Is that the title of that?
It is. Look out for the little guy with an exclamation point. So you have to say it like with a little more excitement. But yes, this was his previous Marvel collaboration with the one and only Scott Lang. So very excited to see him again.
My buddy Daniel Drew is excited because it has been a long time. No Marvel movie talk. We'll have another episode in 2 weeks, which I know we will because I already recorded it. I'll tell you about that at the end. And he's a little mixed up, the mouth with the Merc, but I think we all understand. And we all celebrate Deadpool, who will be talking about Deadpool's affirmations. And, we may go. What is that you're holding up for our visual audience? He's in
for our radio listeners out there over on AM radio broadcast. This is one of my favorite unnecessary purchases ever at any Comic-Con. The taco truck Deadpool style, featuring many Deadpools.
So and many tacos.
And it's not. I'm sorry, it's not Taco Tuesday. It's Wednesday, but still, there's always room for Deadpool, kid pool in a taco packaging. I mean, this is as brilliant as Marvel will ever get until they hire Rob again.
Yes. And Daniel does point out Wade is more mouth than Merc. Really? Absolutely. Speaking of Rob's, the great Deadpool was created by the wonderful Rob Liefeld, co-created with Fabian. Nicienza. I never knew how to say it. I was a kid when I used to read those comics. But we are less than a month away from the 35th anniversary of Deadpool. And what I love about this cover, that is the official first appearance of Deadpool, it is also letting you know that Domino appeared in that issue, who is a character that we know. But who could ever forget Gideon? Gideon.
Gideon.
Everybody talks about Gideon. Yeah. So
true. He would yell "Giddy up" whenever he used his powers.
No, that's Giddy Up. That's a different guy. Yeah, he used to fight the New Warriors. But the Rob that we're going to talk to is our friend Rob Kutner, who is indeed responsible for Deadpool's affirmations. And as it says on the back, live like you can't die. I can't, but you definitely will. Rob, thank you for being here again.
It's great to be back, and I'm glad to be here where I'm allowed to talk about something under my own name, under the code of secrecy from last time.
Yeah, no, the Look Out for the Little Guy was a book that you collaborated on with Scott Lang.
It was written by Scott Lang, where he thanks me in the acknowledgments as being his writing coach, which makes me technically MCU. So I could get canon any moment. It could be snapped.
So yeah, you might actually be in Doomsday. So, but you couldn't tell us.
I mean, who's not going to be in Doomsday? I'm actually Doom. It's not going to be.
If I had to guess who's not going to be in Doomsday, it's Finn Jones as Iron Fist. If I just had to pick something that won't be in Doomsday, I'd love to be wrong though. But we are talking about Deadpool, and obviously you were on Marvel's radar after working so well with Scott Lang. But this is an original composition. You did not collaborate with Wade Wilson on this, right? You did this one.
Can you imagine what that would be like?
No. No, I
think it would be bloody, and I think there would be other fluids as well. But I'm glad
blood would be the least of the
the most welcome of fluids. Yes.
Yeah. So tell us how it comes about. Do you say, hey, I'd love to do a Deadpool book, or what? Tell us how it happens.
Oh yes. One just definitely walks into Marvel and says, "Here's what I'd like to do. Yeah. Make that happen for me, gentlemen."
That's what I try. Yeah.
It's called manifesting.
Yeah, every couple of years I try and tell them they need to reboot Power Pack, but they don't listen. They actually don't listen.
I feel like Brendan Hay has been on the drum about that too. You know Brendan, right?
Yeah.
He's
Eric does, but I actually don't.
Yeah,
I don't
Power
know.
Pack. Well, he's an animation guy.
Okay.
And a comic book guy as well. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, it's not the most interesting of origin stories comparing to the realm we're in, but basically, like they like the job I did the job I helped Scott do with the other book. It satisfied both studio and comic book company and fans enough that the editor recommended me to a different part of the empire, of the publishing empire. That was with Disney Hyperion. This is with Random House Worlds. I don't know how it works, but they recommended me to them and brought me over to that. And they had the project in mind already. Like they already had like this idea for it. And I think they thought that, the sort of combination of geekiness and comedy I could bring to it would be a good fit for this character.
Yeah, and I think that that's the fun idea of getting to basically play in the sandbox with Deadpool is that it's not a particularly serious character, and he does indeed destroy the Marvel universe multiple times. In fact, one of our LA Comic-Con panels, I believe we talked about 2 series where he destroyed the Marvel universe because he didn't do a good enough job the first time. And Eric, I know that you also purchased the book, I believe, digitally, because you've got some images that we can share with people to kind of give a little taste. We don't want to give it away.
Oh God, no.
That's not what we're here to do. But we certainly want to give the little Costco sample cups. It's like a taste.
First taste is free, kids. The rest you got to pay for.
Taste of Deadpool sounds like a really bad thing to be giving.
Okay, that's true.
That's the next book. Taste of Deadpool.
It's like Taste of Chicago, but like more carcinogen somehow.
I miss Taste Chicago. Every once in a while, you'd go and you might see Joe Mantegna and or George Wendt at Taste Chicago. But I did like that there were framed signed photos of Fat Tony from The Simpsons. Yeah. This is of course for people who
very niche part
who
of
never lived in
broadcast.
Burbank.
Yes,
Joe Mantegna did have a restaurant, actually, literally right down the street from where I live.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think I knew that.
Yeah, and I remember well that they sent a news crew to show him and George Wendt watching the 2005 World Series, the White Sox World Series. I was pretty sure they're both Cub fans, but they were on the local news anyway because
that's called acting. It's called acting, gentlemen.
Exactly.
Well, you try to find a White Sox fan.
How about the Pope?
Never heard of him.
And Obama, right?
Okay, yeah, that's true.
How hard could it be to book the Pope or Obama for a street fair?
That and there's actually footage from that World Series in 2005 where the guy who would become the Pope 20 years later is cheering on his White Sox. Now that's a fact, Jack. Yes,
that is conspiracy theory central right there. That's like Simpsons level forecasting.
Yeah, I didn't think we would talk so much about Gideon, but our buddy Daniel Drew points out one of his first Marvel action figures was Gideon. I had no idea who he was. I never saw him anywhere until one wordless cameo. In an episode of the X-Men, the original series. His accessory was a metal suitcase, the handle of which was the handle of his katana, and the blade would unsheath from the suitcase. I'm pretty sure I saw a Bruce Willis movie that was like that, but
Christian, if I may, real quick, please. Daniel Drew, longtime listener, long time.
He's the definition of long time. Yeah.
You love us long time.
Oh yeah. Well, if it makes you feel better, Daniel, my parents got me before Return of the Jedi came out a figure they were in England, and they bought me a whole bunch of. I think they might have even been Revenge of the Jedi figures, and one of the ones they got me was General Madine. Or Nadine.
Oh, General Nadine. No.
Yeah, who has a line just so we can introduce someone else. So he was basically the stuttering John of the Tonight Show of Return of the Jedi. I thought he was going to have this huge role. I was all excited, like, it's General Nadine. And then he did nothing but introduce someone else.
he was basically in that movie to make Mon Mothma look like she had a lot to do. And you know, look, this show might be called Marvel Movie Talk, but if you put Eric and I, together and he starts referencing obscure characters, well, it's going to feel right at home for you, Rob. I feel like,
and we have boundaries. Right?
Yeah. And I just want to share with, of course, because I didn't have this loaded. I had to actually find this. Marked down at Kmart to 99 cents whenever they got this. And by the way, I did send away for the free Anakin Skywalker figure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. The Sebastian Shaw is that actor's name. But don't look for him in versions of Return of the Jedi anymore because he's been replaced. Although, no, he's still under the helmet. He's just not there at the end. He's been replaced by...
I love how that's like a built-in spoiler right there, right? For in its way.
They ruined the whole franchise with that one sticker.
Right. It really was about the merchandise. I guess Lucas is right.
Yeah, which... I mean, I don't want to shortchange Hayden Christensen. I almost called him someone else.
Who would?
Yeah. But that Toys That Made Us on Netflix, the episode about Star Wars is amazing. And
I was just thinking about that one and the whole Boba Fett thing, which I remember from, I think a bit older than you guys. And I was actually the right age for that stuff and like sending away for like the IOU or whatever it was. Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So like for Christmas, 1977, they're like, we want people to buy Star Wars toys. Only we haven't made any. So you can buy a box that has a piece of paper in it that says, "Oh, you'll get Star Wars toys by Valentine's Day."
And I remember that was the Boba Fett was like the most like the crazy must-have one, just because we knew one day he would be in a boring series where he's the mayor who wants to do good.
Yeah, but before that, he was in the Star Wars Holiday Special. So so the TV series is actually not the low point of his career. Being in the same special with Art Carney and B. Arthur.
How did any of us get married?
The special that starts off with 10 minutes of untranslated Wookiee.
Yeah. Which, they could actually, at this point, they could probably translate.
People would know it. There's fans, right? Duolingo, I think, has Wookiee probably at this point.
Yes.
You might write that book, Rob, so you better be ready.
There is the Disneyland now has like Life Day merch every year, which of course is a holiday from there. But we're getting pretty close to Life Day because that special, I believe, aired before Thanksgiving in 1978. Anyway, we'll move on from Star Wars toys in 1 second. The point I wanted to make was that their deal with Kenner Toys was as long as Kenner put out a few items every year, it would preserve their licensing agreement. Right. And then right around 1996, they were like, we've put out enough Star Wars. We're done. So they had to renegotiate their deal for the prequels. And they really had them over the barrel. And they're like, no. Jar Jar is going to be the big thing.
That's the play to destroy. Right. That's the one everyone wants to buy so they can destroy it. Actually, it was a good play.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. Because when we were a kid, we were horrified if we left our Star Wars figures out in the lawn and they fell victim to the lawnmower. After episode 1, people were intentionally putting Jar Jar boxes throughout there. So before we got into that, we were going to talk about some of the great advice that Wade Wilson shares. Now, was this just advice passed down through the Kutner family from generations that you felt like Wade Wilson would respond to? Or did you have to basically put on a Deadpool mask to think like the Merc with the mouth?
Oh, that's a good question. It was a bunch of different things. Like, from my late night backgrounds, I have sort of a natural thing where like jumping into someone's, mind space. That's like, writing for our pal Dennis, and then going from him to Jon Stewart and then to Conan, like, so I have a little piece of me that's like, tries to think like the person automatically. And also like, I think in this case, it was a combination of, I honestly like, first if I start off with just finding some real advice from like, I think I like binged a lot of Deepak Chopra, that sort of stuff.
Oh, sure.
I found a lot of those because there are all these snappy one-liners already. So it's like, take a one-liner and then add something else to it. Like, don't let anyone put you in a box is almost like real life advice you'd see on one of those successory posters or something like that. Right. But, So I did that as a starting point, and then the really cool thing I can share is that Marvel gave me a Marvel Unlimited pass for a year, and I got to just sort of dive into that like Scrooge into a room full of gold coins. And so I was just going through there, like gathering images, and honestly, like at the end of the day, the images really were what inspired me the most, just because like the art is just nuts. Like uniformly, any of the Deadpool iterations, the art is always crazy, right?
Sure.
Like it's almost, some of it's already comedic, right? Some of it's already like putting him in ridiculous situations. So like, I think almost all the art in this is just from the comics. Like it's not something they commissioned for it.
Oh, you didn't do anything special just for this?
I think
book?
they might have done like the cover. They may have done a few things that are around it, but like most of the page stuff is from the comics. So like I dove through it, Dave dove through it, and they would just send me a loony picture. I would just be like, what's the good advice to come out of this one? Or like, what's the sort of like positive spin on this? And then it kind of just came together, I think, a little bit after that, like matching that up with sort of the new ageisms and stuff like that. But honestly, I found his art was so inspiring, and just because he's always so happy, even though he's like also kind of depressed and lonely, he still kind of has this like upbeat persona. It just lends itself to it, I think.
He's a very complicated character because he is a little down on his luck, but happy-go-lucky, and also
happy-go-lucky. That's exactly what it is. That's what.
Also a mass murderer.
I mean, what do you mean? Those two go together, right?
Yeah, if you're good at something, do it a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, you know what they say, Eric? If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I don't think Wade Wilson has ever worked a day in his life.
Yeah, it's not work if you love it, right?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to admit I may have one of my friends? I'm going to give a shout out. James Rose having his birthday today. I may have sent him this picture. I hope I didn't break laws. I hope I'm not wanted by Disney police or Marvel's TVA or anything.
You're promoting the book, so that should count.
Yeah.
For something, right?
And for our audio audience, and Eric, because you're the one who shared it, why don't I let you use your lovely speaking voice to read this?
I got to admit, as much as my Delaware twang is beloved by all Geekscape, Rob, this is your words. I don't want to take away your voice, sir. If you want to read these, I'm happy to read it for you, but
I'll give it a shot.
Please.
And so this one again, like, so I think we should, this is just definitely came out of like seeing this. This was just a regular image in a Deadpool, and it's him kind of leaning back in this kind of a saucy fashion, holding a birthday cake with his shoulders bedecked with grenades, the two katanas in place, and he's beckoning like a waiter, and he's holding up a fancy looking birthday cake with strawberries on top. That was just from the comics. And so I saw that, and so it was make every day feel like your birthday. Take a bath, grow back a body part. Even that one, what the heck? It's your day.
And the even that one is the very Deadpool part of that. I think
that's my favorite part of it.
Yeah. I think I know which body part you're talking about, Rob.
His
spleen.
Yeah, the spleen. Or
I was
every once
pancreas,
in a while. Every once in a while, it's the pinky finger. And I mean, he's such a fun character. And, again, we were talking about him first being introduced 35 years ago. And I don't think Marvel realized, the asset that had just been given to them, because he was a lot more serious at first, I think. But then they realized it's like, yeah, but what if this guy was super, super funny? And the Marvel Unlimited is not a sponsor, but I'll tell you they should be, because of how often we send people from this show or another show we do called the Geekscape Book Club. And I got a deal down at San Diego Comic-Con this year. I got a deeply discounted 1-year subscription, all because I wanted a Herbie the Robot pin from Fantastic Four. So
but you didn't get a Deadpool taco, kid, did you?
All right, why are you trying to make me feel bad? All right,
Flexing.
No, I didn't. Do you remember any of the things that caught your eye as you go? There's no shortage of Deadpool content on Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like an embarrassment of riches, really, because it's like there's so much. He cross cuts, so to speak, with so many different like other franchises and stuff like that. It was enough for me just to go with the titles that were just almost strictly Deadpool ones. Was like there's so much of that already. I only made it through one Kill the Universe. I was like, okay, I get it. He kills the universe.
I mean, okay, if you want to spoil it, Rob.
Oh, sorry. No, but and what I did was I actually went out on the advice of my editor. The editor brought me in, which is John Morgan. he said like you should look at some of the fan curated lists, like some of the best ofs.
Oh, sure.
Which was a really good advice because it sort of helped me like find my way through it. I mean, it is a great site to add to the advertising mojo here that it lets you search. It has a lot of like different ways you can search for things by characters and by creators and by arcs and stuff like that. So that was really cool too. So I basically went through like the main runs, like the Joe Kelly run, of course, which basically I think sort of broke through the fourth wall really for him and got his voice going. And then I love there was a small Gail Simone run, which I like too, but also I liked, of course, the Brian Posehn, Jerry Dugan run, which that's kind of how I sort of came into contact with him before the movies when that came out, like I want to say like 20 teens, something like that. When that came out, like they kind of rebooted him with a vengeance, and I was really into that at the time, and I got to go back and read all that again, and that was just really playful. I think how they like did some like retro looking, adventures with him and stuff in the 70s, and they had a lot of fun with the character even beyond what he does normally. Like they sort of took him throughout all of kind of comics history, which was really fun. So I took a deep dive into that stuff, and then I kind of just dipped into like wherever he made other interesting appearances. Like there's this, this Weapon X-Men team up he did with like Cable and Wolverine and some other people where they're all like, you were talking about like he's impossible to collaborate with, right? So he's like, they put him in a team with other people. That's just not a good idea.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, it's easy enough to imagine it being difficult to be a teammate of Wolverine, but then you put them both on the team and you're a third person. That makes it difficult. You were talking about the Joe Kelly run. What I liked about that was the way that he approached it was he was like each year, so each 12 issues, he felt like, issue 13, issue 27, whatever, it was like a new season of a show. So he'd try to shake it up, which is not really what comic books are known for, is shaking things up drastically. In 2 weeks, I'll be talking to Chris Claremont, who wrote the Uncanny X-Men for 17 years. And boy, did he shake things up. He's like, yeah, what if they moved to the Australian outback and everyone thought they were dead? And this Aborigine guy opens a gateway, that's his name, and then they can go shopping in Reseda and meet Jubilee, and you're just like, all this was in your head, huh? And he's still at it, and that's why we'll be talking to him in a couple of weeks about his new Wolverine Kitty Pryde series. So yeah, but for the most part, it's like if you were to take just a random, let's use Spider-Man as an example. Take a Spider-Man book from the 60s, 70s, 80s, each decade. You're probably like, all right, it's fairly consistent. He might be married in one of those, but apart from that, it's pretty much the same guy.
Almost to the point where like that's the multiverse. They had to come up with different Spider-Mans to do different stories to kind of keep the main one sort of more or less continuous.
Right. Yeah. And I think the one that we're personally, I'm going to say I'm most excited for is Spider-Man Noir, who there is a Nicolas Cage series for. Gosh, I don't know what outlet that's for, but wherever it is, I'll be watching it because it's Sony. They're the one studio that doesn't have their own streaming app. So, but Deadpool, I think, the nature of him becoming this guy who breaks fourth walls and, appealing to a variety of creators. You mentioned Brian Posehn earlier, and most people know Brian Posehn as just like, oh, he's that really funny guy who loves heavy metal. But if you hear him talk, he also loves comic books and like,
he's a savant. Yeah.
Sure. In a way that I'm like, I think I got to stop talking to this guy. He knows way more than I do, honestly, about both. And I created and produce a podcast about heavy metal, and he runs rings around me. And why does Daniel Drew hang out with us when he has to answer all my dumb questions? Probably for Amazon Prime. That's the one that makes sense.
He's our Siri.
If only there was Sony Plus, that's what I would have assumed it was.
Madam Web 24/7. That's all it would be on that.
We should be so lucky.
That's all we need.
Do you want to tell Rob about the magical Valentine's Day you and I spent 2 Valentine's Days ago?
Listen, we both have, human wives. Again, to many people's surprise,
it is shocking. Yeah.
We on Valentine's Day, Christian and I did take in a matinee to Madam Web because we wanted to be alone, and we were. There was maybe 3 other people in that theater. And yet the 5 of us, the disappointment could have filled the entire space. It was a lovely day.
Did I see you guys at Morbius?
Well, I did see Morbius.
I did too.
Yeah. And I'm ready. I've pre-ordered tickets for Morbius 2. It's Morbin time. I don't know when we're getting that.
The rare film that flopped twice. That it takes a special breed of creature to do that.
So
MGM Plus?
Daniel's MGM Plus is a thing. It used to be something else. It used to be Epics with an X, I think. And Rob and I, our old boss, had a special on Epics. So now I don't know where it is. I think I think you just buy it. But it's also on Prime. It's confusing. There it is. That's what really comes down to. But what I love about the comic book Deadpool is that it's easy for him to visit. Like you're talking about some of the crossovers. Personally, my favorite interaction that he has with anyone is Spider-Man, because he makes Spider-Man super uncomfortable, incredibly uncomfortable, because we're trying to sell a book. I won't go into some of the specifics, but let's just say he's not particularly appropriate. Look, Peter's he's not 15 anymore. Deadpool can say what he wants around him, but I don't know. I find that to be fun. You know?
Well, it's like he's the wisecracking guy, but he's like PG wisecracking, and then suddenly like Hard X shows up, and he's like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, right, exactly. This is the that is.
But what I like about Deadpool is like I think there's this really recurring joke. I feel like it goes across the runs and it's almost like always open. One of the opening pages is that some completely different things going on, and then suddenly like Deadpool is in frame and nobody knows how he got there. Yeah. And they're like, you, he's like, me, so it's like this whole thing that he just shows up where you least expect him is really kind of built into the whole aesthetic, that he really could just go anywhere and be anywhere, and nobody questions it, or they question it, but they get over it.
Yeah, the first time I got to experience that was right around this era that Deadpool first shows up. Is John Byrne did a She-Hulk run that I thought is what the TV series was going to be, just like.
Including the Kevin Feige part.
Yeah, well, that the last part really was, but it was this great approach where She-Hulk knew she was in a comic book. She would talk to the audience. But the readers, I guess, but also like, when they would cut to another, like, meanwhile, on the other side of town, when they got back, like the person that she was fighting, they were just standing there taking a break for a panel and like, oh, you're back. And then they go back to the fight. I don't know. I mean, so I'm probably, I guess, like 14, 15 at this point. And I don't know, it was just right in my sweet spot. I was watching just enough Monty Python and Kids in the Hall and all that, and I'm like, I like this sensibility getting into my comic books as well. Rob.
It reminds me of those. I've always loved those. I think it was the Warner Brothers cartoons where one of the creatures is chasing the other, and then they punch their time clock at the end of the day and go off and have like a beer or whatever just together. Like I always love that.
Yeah, it's the sheepdog and the wolf.
Yes.
Yeah. And then it's it's punch of time. So Mr. Hollywood is in the chat. That's Hollywood himself, Mr. Hollywood himself.
That Rob, that may or may not be my son or a bot playing the role of my son.
You're implying your son is not a bot, which would be quite revolutionary.
I'm just not really sure anymore whatsoever about my sons. They're both teenage boys, so
they're both Messieurs Hollywood, plural.
Yeah,
and it's interesting because he's posing a question about who'd win in a fight against Deadpool, and it's all like what suits the story. Like Deadpool could win a fight against Spider-Man or Wolverine, but usually the story calls for them to stop fighting. That's to look at another genre entirely. There's a movie that they called Batman vs Superman, except they only fight for 8 minutes out of the 2 hour and 40-minute runtime. So it's not really. It's more like Batman helps Superman is really what that is.
Batman and Superman's moms are friends.
Their mom, right? Exactly. They spend a lot of time in the Mormon genealogical archives looking at their mom's names and stuff for 45 minutes.
So Eric, you shared a few images that, again, we're giving out the samples, the taste.
Right. Listen, you cheapskates, you're getting this show for free. Go buy this book. It's on Kindle. It's on paper if you're still into paper. You have so many options. I did Kindle mostly for time, but well, actually, with that too, I was wondering, because one thing that's so great about these affirmations, besides reminding me how to love and live again. Seeing
seeing
Deadpool deboned, for instance, is the image that Christian just brought up, which I think was brilliant. I was curious, so we all grew up on Deep Thoughts by Jack Handey.
Yes.
And
it's like right here behind me. I could
I was wondering, and you mentioned already how Deepak Chopra, who also I believe didn't ever talk about pegging, as far as what I've read. Maybe I haven't read his.
You haven't read as much as I have. I think is what that comes.
That's true. Even Dr. Seuss would get a little kinky with some of his writing. I was wondering, did you look at those when you were trying to figure out how to take the wit and wisdom of Wade Wilson and play it to the masses?
Well, I absolutely worship Jack Handey, and I probably have a lot of those memorized. And I was just part of my journey as a parent was just waiting for my boy to be old enough where I could share that book with them. That was really that was kind of what it was all about in the end. I do think those are so brilliant, but they're also kind of they're so constructed as jokes. They're just perfect jokes the way he writes that. They don't really start from a real place. It's not a criticism at all. It's just a different style. Look at this. If trees could scream, I mean, how is that a thing? What? I mean, I could have told you this one, recited it chapter and verse, but it's designed to be a joke that just sort of fools you a little bit, I think, and misdirects you in the middle of it, I think. Yeah. So I will say it was probably in my head, in the sense that just, the joke writing where it starts off in a misdirecty place and it goes to somewhere really crazy really quickly, in just 16 words or something like that. I think that I probably imbibed that on some level, but I would never try to sort of knock off what he does, because there's no one who does it like he does.
No, absolutely.
Sorry, Christian.
I just feel like it's very complimentary to say, because I actually hadn't thought about it, but Eric sent that to me, and I do want to share my favorite, of course, which I remember.
Right. From this is one of the iconic jokes I feel of my comic sensibility.
To me, clowns aren't funny. In fact, they're kind of scary. I've wondered where this started, and I think it goes back to the time I went to the circus and a clown killed my dad. So, yes, for people that don't know Deep Thoughts, which has, let's just say it's aged better than Sniglets, which I liked I loved in an earlier era. The Rich
Not
Hulk
necessarily the news. Yes, that was. I think we were the three people who watched it every week.
So,
the three of us.
Rob, promotion for your book has so far included images of the General Nadine action figure, references to Sniglets, and I'm not sure what else, but we'll see if we can somehow to as an homage to our former boss Dennis Miller, if we can work Pink Lady and Jeff into this before the show is over. I think we'll have it'll be a mission accomplished. So
I guess the promotional thing I can say on my behalf is that they are looking at this as a gift book.
Yes,
which is with the Christmas season almost upon us, it's stocking sized. Yeah, that's good too. But this could work for either one. That could go either way.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Eric.
And as I mentioned, Life Day is next week, so you might want to order this. You might want to order this quickly, because here's the thing about Life Day.
You never know what to get someone for Life Day.
Yeah, it creeps up every year, right. And honestly, Life Day's gotten a little too commercial for me. I
agree.
The stores start decorating for it in August, and I'm like,
it's not about faith anymore at all.
It's right. Right. Fox News is doing all the segments about the war on Life Day.
I know it's.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Happy holidays.
O'Reilly's still talking about it.
O'Reilly's still
over there on News Nation. You look like you have some show and tell you want to hold up, Eric.
I'm just reminding us.
Oh, come on! Enough already. I don't have it.
I will lend you one of my tacos.
Here's an idea. You could also go on Amazon and also bundle it together with a Gideon action figure.
You got to do that, though, right? The Gideon should actually be part of a Samsonite suitcase, I think, where you can actually pull a katana out, because now there's no TSA, so you might as well just walk through an airport with a sword inside your.
I don't think it needs to be inside anymore.
Yeah, you should have it, right? Exactly.
On your back.
I had a picture that I was looking for, and I think I've now found it. And it's interesting because Earlier, I was no, it should be. Earlier, I was showing off the first appearance of Deadpool, but it is actually an image that you have from this book, is him holding his first appearance. But I don't know if there's a caption there.
No, that was added in like in the production stage where they were just sort of, filling out the whole book and they just wanted some extra. I guess because it's sort of like, I don't know if you can really say something about it because it's so meta and it's so kind of like, even too fourth wally for Deadpool.
But I believe this is from the upcoming Deadpool the musical.
Yes,
image right here. Yeah. So, which, look, Rob, somebody has to write Deadpool the musical. So
that would kill, I think, so to speak. It really would. You got to start with like him doing like Angel of the Morning, right? It's like the whole opening number is all in slow mo while someone else is getting killed.
Yeah.
Peg to the melody of Beth by Kiss, Christian's favorite band.
Yes, and then Bazane would show up for it, right?
There's a hole in my heart.
Yeah, there is a hole in my heart. So honestly, like, there are so many gift giving occasions that Deadpool's Affirmations is great for. If somehow you forget the hole in my heart, that's going to be great for Valentine's Day. But listen, if you're with somebody, get it for them now, and odds are pretty good you'll be broken up in the new year. So then get it for somebody else.
It wasn't meant to be
for Valentine's Day. Yeah. If they don't appreciate Deadpool's,
right? When you break up, you take that book back, you give it to the next one.
Everybody wins.
It's like I think it's Say Anything. He gives the test of like, he opens her car and he sees if she reaches over to unlock his door, which is a concept lost on most generations because usually if you unlock a car, all the doors are unlocked now. But anyway, the point is, this is for the 2025 version of testing someone. If they don't appreciate that, okay, yeah, you want to get all 3 books, sure, but make sure you buy this one first, right, Rob?
That was my Say Anything response, by the way.
Oh, yeah, yes. I'm sorry. That's on me for not going full screen with that.
No, it still doesn't work, really.
Yeah. Interestingly, I was just reading, and see, here's the other thing that we didn't think we were going to talk about. When they filmed that scene, they didn't know what song he was going to be playing.
Oh, really?
They tried out a bunch of songs, including one by Fishbone, which that would have been a really different
movie.
line.
I thought you were going to say they did Yakety Sax from Benny Hill. That would have
been great. Eric, can you make that for us?
That's going to happen by nightfall.
Yeah, it'll be on the text thread.
That'll be our thank you to Rob for joining us here.
I can't wait.
So Deadpool's Affirmations is the point, available really everywhere. And I do like that. Let me see if I can make sure I get this in the right spot. I would have. So seriously though, buy this book. I have a chimichanga habit to feed. And then he even goes this far as to say,
you deserve this.
You deserve this.
This is what was really fun about it also, was that like they just like freed up the feel for like put like little funny copy anywhere. Like that thing you just showed about the hole in your heart. We had a whole caption on the page, and then they said write annotations in it, just like scrawl things in there, and then you say up an annotation that says more room for love where his heart-shaped hole is. Like they to their credit, like they really encourage like just have as much fun as he would have writing his own book.
Rob, if I may quote you, one of the ones that made me laugh out loud was when there's that give positive affirmations to other people, and he's holding up a sign like, you have a wart on your blank, and it's like black, it's redacted, and then a little sign saying this says ass.
Yes.
Now, did you add that, or was that from the original?
No, that was all that stuff was added. Like, in fact, there was a few cases where we took out like the speech bubbles and that stuff like that. But no, everything, all the copying here is all from me, and the editorial team added a few good gags in as well.
Yeah, and I like that you're very positive towards Spider-Man and his love of Spider-Man. I think that's the sort of the warm friendship at the center of this story.
Is this a late night show too? Because I want to see this late night show, whatever this is.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's
with a monocle.
Actually, that thick 2-chair setup is very Dennis Miller live.
It is.
It's like I can imagine Norm Macdonald on the left talking about, well, you know what he liked to talk about to celebrate the millennium.
Right.
But
hey, Spides, what you got cooking?
So, Rob, we appreciate you visiting with us, and this is the book we want people to get. and people can find out more about your other work that Eric was holding up earlier, the Jews, and you were kind enough to speak at my son's school about snot goblins.
Yes.
So we appreciate that, and that's I think that the appreciation for that really just ages like a fine wine. My son's 10 now, so the boogers have not stopped being funny, is my point.
Yes, there's some constant in the universe, speed of light and boogers, I think.
And before too long, he'll be moving along to Deadpool's.
They grow up so fast.
We'll start him with Scott Lang. If you want to teach him about culture, the Jews, and then this is the gateway to this.
No, you got to do it backwards because you got to buy this one right now.
That's right. Well, you buy it right now, you cheap.
I already have.
You love your kids?
No, I don't need. I don't need to buy it. I have.
You have a copy for you. Buy it for your son. What's the matter?
Okay. Yes.
I like where this is going. I love where this is going.
I have a daughter too. My wife lives here. I'm gonna need 3 more copies.
At least.
But Rob, anything else that people should know? Where to look for you, or anything else you have coming up that you're allowed to talk about, Marvel or otherwise?
Nothing I'm allowed to, but if you go to, surprisingly enough, go to robkutner.com. That's where I put like the latest things that I'm working on or that are coming out soon. So,
well, we appreciate that. And, look, Disney.
Oh, I do have something to drop. I have something to drop. So, I'm part of this other podcast called The Novelizers, which I talked about last time, but where we take like iconic movies that were not based on a book, and we have them like retold by comedy writers and then read as a podcast by like funny actors. So we're doing The Dark Knight. Should be coming out in like probably a week or so. And I have the opening chapter, which is read by Lewis Black, who does the opening chapter of The Dark Knight and sings a little Sondheim during it as well. So that's all I'm going to tease about that. But if you ever wanted to see like someone rage about like the opening of the original Christopher Nolan Dark Knight by Lewis Black, and then we have a bunch of other like funny writers and like really famous people doing it. So I'm excited about that, and I think your comic book fandom will enjoy it as well.
Oh no, absolutely.
Oh, sorry, it's DC. Oh shit, we've been shut down.
That's all right. We already talked about Batman vs Superman, so it's all right. And look, Marvel obviously is a part of Disney. Star Wars is also a part of Disney. If you want to pitch something, there's a character General Nadine almost has a blank canvas.
Matthew Modine is General. No, it doesn't work.
General Modine.
General Modine, right?
Well, Rob, thank you for visiting with us again. We really do appreciate it.
Often a pleasure.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Great. Thanks. Great talking to you guys. Talk to you soon.
Thanks again.
Be good, Rob. Thanks.
So always fun to talk to Rob.
Thank God he's got. Oh wait,
no, that's a terrible thing. No, that's only what we do when David Brody pops off screen. That's when we say,
well, really on screen.
No, that's fair.
No one really hides the stain in most of your shows.
But this is what we really want people to check out.
Deadpool Affirmations for our
what I was gonna talk to you about. I wanted to talk about this. This New York Comic-Con trailer for Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Except what I realized is that all the video of it is like leaked video. So I'm like, right. But we all know Jessica Jones is in that season. So we get to actually see it, and there's stuff like that. We do have a release date for the Wonder Man TV series, which will be, I think, January 28th. It's right around there. And this is what we really need. Kame Egan,
yes.
Finally. This is no longer a podcast about the great Seth Rogen film.
I have this for you.
Yes.
Child-flavored taco.
Daniel enjoyed that segment. So, Daniel, I hope you and Kame Egan each run out to pick up Deadpool Affirmations. Feel yourself to heal yourself. So really, that's kind of what I was hoping to round out the show with, was talking about Daredevil Born Again Season 2 and take a look at the trailer and react to it. And then I realized, I'm like, ooh, there's no real trailer, right? Daniel, you would know if there was an official one.
It would be the end of Geekscape, basically, you're saying. So yeah, let's not do that.
We already got them in trouble once with something, so I don't ever want to hear about it.
This is we, white man.
It was you. You're right. It wasn't me. Yeah.
I did send it to you. You hit play.
Yeah, that's true. Although, actually, I think I found one that it's not like, see, the problem is what I never want to play on these shows is like somebody films the screen of they were shown something at a con. And like we had that, like actually Brody sent it to us. We had that for, what do we have that for? We had that for Thunderbolts. And they had like cut out the audio of the song. I don't know, it's the Killers or one of those early 2000s bands. And so it was just like, it was this really weird thing. I'm like, well, we can't look at it, but we'll talk about it.
Right.
But I don't know. I think that I am seeing something that's a legitimate version of this.
Okay.
Now, it's not on the Marvel YouTube page, which, Eric, I might be a little nervous about the fact that it's not on the Marvel YouTube page. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. It's a YouTube.ru.
What? That sounds legit. Doesn't that sound legit to everybody in the chat?
Sure. You just have to give the last 4 digits and then the first 5 digits of your social security number, and you're fine.
Yeah. Well, that sounds all right.
Totally legit.
Yeah. So I think Are
we seeing inner turmoil right now, whether or not to hit play?
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I know I'm going to show.
Yes.
I'm going to show the trailer I'm going to show the Wonder Man trailer, because that is on the Marvel page. So we're going to take a look at that. But as usual, I am very, very, these things make me very nervous. So I'm not going to play the audio. So we're just going to kind of look at it.
Understood.
And we'll talk about, I enjoyed the character of Wonder Man. He was one of the great West Coast Avengers, and so we're
the real Avengers?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, the best Coast Avengers is what we should.
Welcome to Hollywood, everyone. We're here on the back lot.
Right, and he's of course an actor, Simon Williams, and not quite sure what some of this is, but we're getting to see like lunch boxes and that sort of a thing. And he is shown in the Christmas tree costume, which gets talked about periodically, which is a red and green costume where he had a yellow jetpack. It's a pretty bad one. So.
Well, I'm glad that Ben Kingsley, a throwaway joke from Shane Black has now become canon on top of canon.
Yeah.
That character has shown up now in multiple properties.
Yeah, he was in Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
And he's
going a dog with only a butt, which I thought was goofy, yet made me laugh every time like an idiot. So
yes. Well, what do you do that's not like an idiot? You can answer. I'll wait.
Sleep. By the way, Stutter John is on right now. I'm afraid to tell people because then we might lose our viewer.
No. I don't think Daniel Drew and Cami Egan are going to go over there.
I am excited, by the way, the actor playing Wonder Man. He was he played Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen reboot, and he was fantastic in that. I think he won an Emmy for it.
Oh, I see. In the reboot.
Yeah.
Do you know how to say his name? Yahya Abdul Mateen II.
That sounds right.
Okay.
If I say it, it will sound a little more like Hebrew. So, Mr. Mateen II, who is very strong actor. He also was in the reboot of Candyman. Really interesting performer.
Yeah.
And a good choice because I don't know if I've seen him in any comedies. So I think it's fun to have a guy here who's much more known as kind of like a straight man in something with a bit of more comedic bent.
Daniel's asking an interesting question. In the series, the movie or show being a revival in the world, as in the MCU. Yeah, so it's an 8-episode series streaming January, I think it said 27th there. So we may see an original Wonder Man during it. Some of the clips are of the way that we envision Wonder Man from the comic books. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see sort of what it is. It's like how in the MCU, Scott Lang, who wrote a great book, by the way, Scott Lang is Ant-Man, but Hank Pym had been Ant-Man, and we are introduced to him sort of secondary. And here's someone we haven't seen in such a long time. Craig Robinson, where across the pond.
An OG.
Yeah, it's it's past supper time out there in the UK, but I hope you're well as well. Glad to see each and every one of you. So yeah, I don't know. I really got nervous about showing that trailer. You could see me. You could see the flop sweat on top of my flop sweat, right?
Yeah, it was a double decker.
Yeah, but at least it wasn't an upper decker. Huh?
Hey.
So listen, it's a real trailer that is on YouTube. It's not a one of these like which I can't say I've never watched a movie that was filmed on a camcorder in the back of a theater somewhere. I just it's
my buddy. I remember when Jurassic Park, quote unquote, went on VHS, meaning it wasn't out on video yet, but some guy did just that. They filmed it crooked. The Universal logo came at a 45-degree angle, and at one point you hear "Last call for popcorn" in the middle. For some reason, I guess my buddy filmed it in 1961.
Well, I was just gonna say, he was watching a press screening where everyone has one of those hats that says "Scoop" tucked into it. So we're gonna roll the dice here and take a look at something that is widely available on YouTube already, and just sort of we're dealing with the aftermath of season 1 and Vanessa, and of course Matt Murdock is missing according to this, and New York is Born Again by Mayor Fisk. And like, wait a minute, that's the name of the show, isn't it?
I assume Blinding Light by Weekend is playing. By the Weekend is playing.
I'm not sure. I would just assume it would be Man from Man's Blinded by the Light. And there's Jessica Jones. This is the whole reason why it's like we know that we were there. And here, buddy Hughes, there right now. I had to triple check the spelling of that surname. I'm not quite sure what that was, but I'm sure it's wildly inappropriate. But always great to hear from the great Adam.
Yeah, that's a thread.
There's Frank Castle, the Punisher. These are a lot of things that we know happening in season 2. There's a nice headbutt. Yeah, we see Miss Jones again. No Finn Jones.
Did he just shoot someone in the face point blank?
Was it Marvin from Pulp Fiction? I didn't.
It's going to look like him now.
Yeah, and so this is what I think the H man is asking: is it called Daredevil Born Again? It should be. And yes, Daniel Drew noticed it's a lot of walking. Yeah, it is a very like Aaron Sorkin presents version of Deadpool.
One take episodes.
Yeah. So I, for one, am looking forward to that. Obviously we're doing the show a little sporadically right now because the Marvel content has been somewhat sporadic, but I wanted to make sure we got some fun shows in before the end of the year. So last week I recorded one of my patented brief conversations with writer Chris Claremont. And it was brief because this one was only 2 hours and 3 minutes.
So you asked one question?
No, we talked a lot about a new series, a recent series that he did. It only finished up a couple months ago, but it is about two of my favorite characters, and you know who one of them is.
Of course.
It is a sequel to the Kitty Pryde and Wolverine miniseries from 1984/1985. So 40 years ago, we had this tremendous series, and he did a new series, like a follow-up that takes place immediately afterwards, called Wolverine and Kitty Pryde. And I talked to him about that, and it was great to kind of revisit that era when I still loved comics more than I loved anything else.
Now, when did this new one come out?
So it wrapped up like 2 months ago. So it was a 5-issue series. So it just wrapped up. And I'm going to post that episode on November 26th, thinking that people might be doing some traveling for Thanksgiving. Husey, you don't know what we're talking about, but here in the U.S., we have a lot to be thankful for. And I think travel that week is going to take longer than usual. So I thought an overly long episode of this show might be a fun way for people to visit with that. And Husey says, I heard that the original title for Wolverine Origins was Wolverine Shitty Time. I think that's what the reviews of it said. But Daredevil,
that's a title in Ireland, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, and Daniel, you're right. They had some fun variant covers for those issues. And as I speak with Mr. Claremont, I'm showing him variants that he'd never seen before. So that's fun to check out the YouTube version of that. Again, it'll be available Wednesday, the 26th, and we will see. Do I want to know what you sent me in the private chat? Ordinarily, I wouldn't ask that.
No, it's a link to. But I'll wait. It'll be part of my plug at the end.
I'll wait.
Okay. I'll wait.
But you're going to need me to show it, though, is what?
No. Don't worry about showing. It's. I'll just say it now. So for those who just to jump back to Daredevil for 1 second, and you're thinking, oh wait, but I don't remember the original run of Daredevil, and I need to look at only me without Christian wearing red glasses.
That's
although
fair.
I didn't put on the Daredevil skull cap that left me blind in 1.5 of my eyes.
To this day, by the way.
To this day. Yeah. I still can't feel anything above my neck or below my knees. So everything you need to know before starting Daredevil Born Again was a video I did, currently rocking out with, wait for it, 1.9 thousand viewers. So you could bring it up to 2,000 if you watch it 100 times.
Yeah. See, look at that. Look how close it is.
It's getting there. I got one comment. The person said, well, he called me a J bastard. But aside from that, I think it went over nicely.
Oh, but you're not from Jersey. That doesn't even make sense. I don't know why they would say that. Yeah. So that is something that you can check out. And
you're pausing on that image of me.
No, I actually didn't pause it. It might be glitching a little bit.
Your computer was so nervous it just stopped it.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, do we need any of this right here? I don't know. And Eric doesn't even necessarily know this, but we will also have we will be a part of the Geekscape holiday live stream on Friday, December 5th.
Life Day?
Well, you can still celebrate Life Day at that point.
Okay, great.
But Life Day comes up sooner than that. And I believe that our slot is 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on December 5th. So we'll be a part of that. And we will really be, we'll really be hitting the ground running in 2026 because like Wonder Man's going to basically go right into Daredevil Born Again, which is, I believe. And again, Husey mentioned that Colin Farrell's performance in Daredevil was the worst thing to happen to Ireland since English people were invented by the devil. Again, that's Adam Husey, the H-Man Hughes. In the Irish cut of Daredevil, he's just really drunk.
I'm going to argue every cut of him, and for that decade, he was really drunk.
Yes, that's absolutely an accurate portrayal. But anyway, it was so much fun to talk to our buddy Rob Kutner about Deadpool Affirmations, Feel Yourself to Heal Yourself. And please, it makes a great gift for any gift-giving opportunity. And as it says there, you deserve this. Seriously, though, buy this book. Wade has a chimichanga habit to feed. So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ChristianDMZ, my personal podcast, the Blattcast, BLADTCAST, where you see a lot of the same people as you see on this show. And of course, Who Are These Broadcasters? Tuesdays, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Who Are These Podcasts YouTube channel. Only occasionally presented in portrait form. Usually it is landscape. But
2351, beautiful Panavision.
That's why pencils have erasers. Eric, where can people find you?
Go find me, hunt me down, Count Eric Conner, ERICCONNER, over on the X, over on the Insta, and over on Geekscape. My wife and I did a wonderful takedown of Brewster's Millions, and I'm currently editing my takedown of Fletch, which will be available in this calendar year. So yeah,
let me know when you get to Fletch Lives.
Oh, I do talk about Fletch Lives a little bit. Okay. Yeah, they climbed up a very big mountain and fell off it 1 second later. It's
do you talk about the John Hamm Fletch as well?
A little bit, which I enjoyed.
I thought it was, yeah, for what the expectation was, I got some good laughs
They
out
nailed
of
it.
that. And Daniel, you've got a deal. Remind me to show you my Magic the Gathering deck box that I got on Etsy for all my Marvel and Spider-Man cards. I absolutely want to see that. You send me some images.
That's so
we'll
hot.
share that on a future show. But the future shows will be in the future,
where we will spend the rest of our lives.
The future, Conan? Yes, all the way in the year 2000. But that is all the time we have for now. Please join us on Wednesday, November 26th for a double-decker, a supersized episode where I'll talk to Chris Claremont about a variety of things, but specifically the jumping off point is the Wolverine and Kitty Pryde series, which you all have 2 weeks to read. I strongly recommend it because it has my two favorite X-Men, Kitty Pryde and Wolverine. But that is all the time we have for now. So we'll see you then, and we'll be part of the holiday live stream on December 5th. But until then, as the great Stan Lee would say, Excelsior!